Doom is, of course, a film version of the popular video game, so already you know this movie isn't going to be good. Unfortunately, it doesn't break the rule of video game movies. But this one, I don't know, it hurts just a little extra, doesn't it? Like, at this time, this movie came out 2005. Resident Evil had proven to be a pretty big hit, but like the movie, whatever. But the games from which that series kind of emerged, they're already kind of like emulating movies, right? Like, zombie movies, George A. Romero kind of tense zombie movies. Um, Doom was something kind of wholly original. It was like pretty much like the first person shooter, like this, and I'm sure I'll get comments on that, but whatever. But it was this intense first person experience with all these monsters coming at you, very violent, bloody, like something people hadn't seen before at the time. And I remember playing the game as a kid, or maybe like Doom 2 specifically. Like, I remember going to my friend's house, like, I have Doom 2 on my computer. I'm like, what's that? And then mind blown by Doom's awesomeness. So an awesome game. Um, and something that deserves better, I think. So this movie, I mean, it's many years after its initial success. Between Doom 1 and Doom 2, I think there was a PS2 game, Doom 3, from which it draws some inspiration. But the thing is, like, when you, or at least, when I was a kid and, fantasized about what a Doom movie could be, when I was, like, back in the day when I was into Doom or whatever, but, like, you kind of expect this intense thing, kind of like the game, this big bloody thing, and all these monsters from the game, like this big giant finale in hell where the rivers are running red with blood and the hero fights, one of those giant devil things with the laser hand or whatever, right? You expect something like that. And what we get with Doom, the film version, is maybe a notch or two above like sci-fi original. It's pretty kind of standard, badass military guys go in and get picked one by one off by monsters, right? So I mean, they obviously take inspiration from stuff like Aliens, Predator, uh, and like there's even like Predator specifically. It feels like these guys like are like next gen Predator kind of people. Like there's even like a pussy joke in the movie. We have like Richard Brake, of course, a great actor. He plays usually like sleazy roles, like like 31. Um, he's like, "Oh, Sarge said he was gonna bring a little pussy. I didn't think he meant you." And he's talking to the kid or whatever. It's like, ha ha ha, but whatever. Draws inspiration from that kind of badass macho kind of military guy, whatever. And like a million other movies, right, of monsters and stuff. And what Doom has going for it is that it has these cool monsters, and it doesn't deliver on those, unfortunately. Like, and it keeps accurate to a fair amount of elements of the game. Like, it is a research facility on Mars, and the team gets there, and all this kind of stuff. But they kind of substitute like like the general idea of the game is like these research people like open a portal to hell basically, and it comes spilling out. That's pretty much it. I mean, pretty simple, but I don't know, cool enough. This one, it's like all this stuff about like archaeological finds and this stuff that like mutates or like somehow infects humans, like a virus and that kind of stuff. So like it feels like they kind of like make it like Resident Evil kind of is pretty much kind of how they approach it, unfortunately. So there's not too much that feels you know close to the game in that respect, and obviously in the monsters respect, they're like their design alone, it just doesn't deliver, right? Like Doom, it had all these cool monsters. Like I know, like it's kind of petty to say, oh, it should be like the game, but it's true that you have this great arsenal of designs and very creepy and signature kind of stuff. Like it boggles my mind why they substitute all of that for just these shadowy, lumpy pieces of crap. Like like I'm sorry, but the monster designs are not good in this movie at all, and that's kind of what it all kind of hinges on, isn't it? So it doesn't deliver there. They try to pay homage to Doom and like giving it that cheesy first person scene, right? And it's like the game, right? And it's just kind of stupid. Like I don't know, it's sort of cool but sort of cheesy at the same time. At least makes the movie stand out a little bit. I'll give it that much. And of course, there's like a whole credit sequence that again like overplays that first person shooter thing. Um, but it's just really by the number, and it like feel like boring at some points too. It does feel boring, and you have Carl Urban, who's usually pretty good. Dredd, Star Trek, he's good, and Rosamund Pike, and she's explaining all this stuff to him, and all these boring scenes. At least there's The Rock in the movie, I guess. I mean, he gives it a little bit of flavor. This is kind of like right when his career was like really, really amping up. Like before this, he'd only done like a couple. Like he did the Scorpion King, The Rundown, Walking Tall. So this is like right when he was getting all these roles. So it's fun to see him. And what's like kind of funny, like you compare it to how he like looks today. He looks like small compared to how fucking like beefed he is today. But anyway, he's fun to watch, and like he becomes the villain basically. I don't know if that's spoilers, but he kind of like slowly kind of goes insane, I guess, and kind of takes things over, and then he becomes possessed or infected or however you want to say it. And there's a big showdown with the Rock at the end instead of one of the big devil monsters. So I guess that's something. But the movie's forgettable. It's not very good. So like I hadn't seen it since first seeing it in theaters, and it was funny. It was kind of like pegged as a Halloween movie. Like it was released around Halloween, 2005, and I think I saw it on Halloween. Like if only if like Saw 2 was like sold out, I think. But anyway, so to revisit it for this 31 Days of Horror, I felt, what could be the harm? Maybe the movie aged like a fine wine, right? No, not the case, unfortunately. But what really made me kind of like get Doom on the mind is I recently got a Nintendo Switch, and I got the new Doom game for it, and that game is awesome. I mean, unfortunately, the movie didn't work out, but it's still doing pretty okay in Doom form, or in game form, I should say. That was an intense, awesome game, and it had all the updated designs of the creatures that we all know and love from the original game. So that did it right in game form, at least. And I think there's a new one coming too, so that should be interesting. Maybe they should give it another shot. Maybe they should try another movie, or maybe they should just leave well enough alone. I don't know. What do you think? Comment below. Should they give Doom another shot? They tried again with Tomb Raider. Yeah, okay, but maybe. Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching today and hearing me ramble on about this subpar video game adaptation. 31 Days of Horror, still reviewing horror movies on the channel. Stay tuned for more reviews, and until next time, stay scared.